look at the CSGO's description, it is a first-person shooter that actually gives you the opportunity to play either as a terrorist or the counter-terrorist. So it's just this classic shooter game na wala lang, kill everyone, then try to secure victory in different modes. My name is I am 19 years old. I worked at Concentrix Cubao for 3 months. I am also a full-fledged gamer, if you must. So I always like playing, especially CSGO. So I like gaming, I like cooking, just the basic stuff. I play CSGO just to relieve stress. Like for example, I play CSGO pagka libre ako, wala akong ginagawa at specific time, or pag feeling ko masyado akong nag-work na need ko naman mag-relax ng konti. My thoughts about terrorism? Well, my thoughts about terrorism kasi is just fairly simple. Terrorism is a abused word na we use to describe people who's trying to damage, trying to damage us, our resources, our people, our country. Well, if we are speaking in, let's say, gaming sense, I portray them kasi as very different. Pag kinumpare ko sa real life, kunwari. In real life, we have counter-terrorism forces talaga. Diba? We have the SWAT, we have the SOG, we have Marines, Philippine Army. But in the game kasi, it portrays the view of different, let's say, classes. So, each game kasi, let's say, every different map, merong different set of police or soldiers, diba? Na respective doon sa country na nag-ooperate sila. Ang thing ko sa kanila, for example, doon sa counter-terrorism, is meron silang different agenda. Na tulad nga nung meron ako nabasang article na CSGO or CS isn't just a game that is giving you the chance to play shooter. No? Na it also gives you an insight of what a specific country and their forces might actually do. So, that means na meron silang hidden agenda. If you play one of the maps, you'll be able to see na they're trying to either defend or just simply eliminate those terrorist groups. And they also have their different catchphrases, diba? For example, nag-game ka. Sasabihin ng terrorist, pagka-terrorist ka, maririnig mo, for our freedom. If you play as the counter-terrorist, you will hear, we must drive them from our land. So, both of which has their different thoughts kung ba't nila sinasabi yun. So, if in my personal opinion, if a terrorist say that, diba, they are speaking that in a way na gusto nilang maging malaya. While the counter-terrorism forces, they say that like, we don't want you here. Diba? So, it's either you go out, you go away from us, you stay away from us, or you're dead. Well, and in my perspective naman, or how I portray the terrorists, no, they have their different agenda din. And that agenda is like, for example, let's say on a map called DDoS. So DDoS kasi, it's a map where the terrorist has to plant a bomb on a specific location. So may dalawang locations doon. And pagka nagbasa ka ng mga Reddit posts, mga game theories, may mabasa ka din doon na ano ba yung laman ng box? Could it be weapons of mass destruction? Diba? Siyempre kung government ka nga naman, you try to stop them. Kasi atin yun eh. Diba? That's our secret weapon. But if you check, they were not following or obeying the 1993 International Constitution or law na weapons of mass destruction like biological weapons, they cannot be placed or used Well, this go back actually during Cold War pa. Kahit hindi pa 1993. Diba? There are treaties like limiting weapons of mass destruction, especially nuclear weapons, biological weapons, diba, like mustard gas na ginamit ng World War I. So, bakit bumomba ng terorista yun? Simply enough, pwedeng para di magamit ng government sa iba, or simply because they want the government to pull out from that specific country. I see them very differently na napakaunti na similarity. In-game kasi, siguro the most pinakamalapit or the closest thing that I resemble real-life terrorism to the game is hostage taking, which is playable in a map called Assault. In real life kasi, they mostly do that, diba, for money. In real life, they spread terror talaga. So they're spreading fear. They want people to know that we exist and we will not stop until we get what we want. May nakita ka na ba freedom fighter na gumawa ng maayos? I haven't heard or seen one yet. Diba? Mayroong operation sila dati sa Mindanao. No? It was a counter-insurgency. Tungkol to rin sa mga journalists na kinidnap sila from a small beach. No? Kinidnap sila ng mga Abu Sayyaf. So, the military is trying to take a town na sinecure ng mga terorista, which is they took a stronghold in a small hospital. Diba? And instead of letting the civilians go, kasi it's not the civilians' fight, sa kanila yun, nilaban nila yun. They're trying to kick out the government while the government is trying to kill them all. Or let's say, take them out as well. Diba? Instead na palayain nila yung mga civilian, what they did is, they used them as shields. Meanwhile, in the game, should you kill the hostage, you'd lose money. So technically, it's not illegal sa kanila, but of course may penalty. Eh dito ba sa atin, sa totoong buhay? Wala naman eh. If you kill someone, who cares? I'm a terrorist. Diba? A day or two, baka patay na rin ako. Diba? If you do it like that.
Do you think that terrorist intentions are bad?
Depende. Sa ko ba titignan eh? Kasi pag meron kasi tayong terrorism na nililabel lang. Kasi we view people as terrorists pagka they're spreading terror, di ba? If they shoot civilians, if they bomb places, if they plan to destroy the government or take over the government. Ganon. So sa akin hindi. Sa akin hindi. Kasi pag view mo sila na masama, hindi lahat ng terorista kasi pare-pareho eh. Meron kasing freedom fighters lang, di ba? Kasi, of course, halimbawa, during World War II na lang kunwari. So, French resistance forces, no? They were trying to get rid of Germans, di ba? This was the early phase of World War II, early to midpoint. So, it was 1940 to 43. Ganun. They were trying to get rid of the Germans kasi lugar nila yon. It's their country, France. Diba? Meanwhile, they were labeled as terrorists, as traitors. Kasi they were fighting, diba, the government that time, which is the puppet government of the Germany. They were trying to get rid of the puppet government that Germany wanted to have in French soil. Diba? So, why did they have that? They have that kasi, ang gusto palabasin ni Hitler, that French betrayed their allies, especially Poland during that time, you know, and the other countries such as British and the US. Now, here's the fact, diba? They labeled them as terrorists. Pero in the real scenario or in the real life, what they were trying to do is to secure their homeland. Kasi kanila yun eh, kumbaga bakod nila yun. So, if you're asking me, do you think na masama ba ang mga terorista? Hindi may mga.
Would you agree? Should the government threaten into banning games such as CS:GO?
You mean violent games? No. No, I don't agree. Simple lang eh. Games have been proven, di ba, to be stress relievers. And matagal na nilang debate na ang mga violent games daw can drive an individual into a violent rage or into a much more violent set of or the mindset. No, kasi matagal lang proven yun eh that violent games does not necessarily affect someone's behavior, diba? If someone is psychotic, that's because that's them. Diba? Or they are suffering from an illness. It's not because of the games. So if they're going to threaten to ban, let's say, games, what they're gonna do is just, mawala sila ng revenue. Mabawasan lang yung kinikita nila. Ganun lang. Because gaming companies have to pay. Diba? Let's say a specific office to let that game in.
Who will you go side with? Terrorist or government?
Tanungin muna kita. Saan, let's say, a specific scenario. Saan scenario? Like in CSGO or in real life?
In real life.
Government. Kasi, pagka pinor-train mo kasi sila, like in-game, pwede ka mag-sit sa terrorist eh. Because they were fighting for something. Dito kasi sa atin wala eh. Tignan mo na lang yung Marawi siege, kunwari. They sieged Marawi, they killed people, they took people hostages, they raped women, they killed civilians, they forced them into hard labor. Yun na yun. Diba? It's like, it is either you will fight for us as well, or we will kill your family. Kasi captive sila. Of course, government ako. I don't like terrorism. It's bullshit. It's like, ganito yan eh. Pilipino ako, pero dahil maayos sa society, guguluhin ko. Ayoko nun. Diba? Ikaw mo gusto yun pag gano'n? No, diba? Kasi, they are just disrupting the flow of society. So it's not worth it. Government.